you all are staying safe in your homes. Today, we will be studying Accountancy Class 12th. So, we will continue with the chapter Admission of a Partner. In this chapter, we have already studied calculation of mu ratio, calculation of sacrificing ratio, accounting treatment of goodwill as per Accounting Standard 26. So, today we will continue with the chapter and we will start accounting treatment for revaluation of asset and reassessment of liabilities. Revaluation of assets and liabilities is a very important topic, children, for your board examination, because this topic is common in admission, retirement and death. And moreover, there will be a long answer question of 8 marks where first you will have to prepare revaluation account and then the balance of this account will be transferred to capital account. So if revaluation account goes wrong, then your capital account will also go wrong. So we have to be very careful while preparing the revaluation account. Before understanding the meaning of revaluation, children, let us revise assets and liabilities, which are the base of revaluation. These two terms are not new, children. We have already studied them in class 11th and we have been using them again and again. Now, what are assets? Assets are the properties of business. They are the properties of business. For example, land and building is an asset. For example, furniture is an asset for the business. For example, debtors, bills receivable, stock, etc. All these are the assets of the business. Now comes to liabilities. Liabilities are the obligations of the business. Obligation meaning these are the payment which the business has to make in future. We will have to make these payments in future. That is why they are the liabilities. The liabilities are of, we can say, two kinds. One is owner's equity. Owner's equity means it is the payment which is due to the owner. And the outsider liability. So the owner's equity means, the example is your capital. It is the amount which belongs to the owner. The reserve created out of profit, the balance of undistributed profit and loss, all these amount belongs to the owner. We do not have to pay these amounts to the outsiders. So they are owner's equity. When we are revaluing, we have to revalue only the outsider's liability, the money which belongs to the outsiders, the payment which we have to pay to make to the outsiders. For example, your creditors, for example, bills payable, for example, the value of loan, amount of loan borrowed, for example, the outstanding expenses, etc. All these are the payment which we have to make to the outsiders. Now, revaluation of asset and liabilities means finding the new value of asset and liabilities. We just have to do revaluation, revalue. Revalue means finding out the new value of asset as well as the new value of liabilities is revaluation. Revaluation of asset and liabilities is necessary, children. And why is it necessary? Because the change in the value of asset. See, the value of asset and liabilities keeps on changing. It may increase, it may decrease. And this change in the value of asset and liability belongs to the period prior to change in profit sharing ratio. It means that when a partner is admitted, the profit sharing ratio changes. The profit ratio changes. Why changes? We all know, children. We have already studied. We have calculated new profit sharing ratio and sacrificing ratio. We know that when a partner comes in the business, the old partners have to sacrifice some share of profit in favor of the new partner. And when they are sacrificing, the share of old partners will be reduced, and from that share only they are going to give to the new partner. So we have already calculated new profit sharing ratio and we have already calculated the sacrificing ratio. We know what is the effect. Clear, children? So the change in the if there is a profit due to the change in the value of asset or liabilities, it belongs to the old partners. If there is a loss due to this change, this loss also has to be shared by the old partners and in their old profit sharing ratio. When revaluation of asset and liabilities may be given effect in the following ways. First one is when revised values are to be recorded in the books. It means when the new value, after revaluation, when we are revaluing, when we are finding out the new value is shown in new balance sheet which will be prepared after admission. That means the effect of the change in value will be shown in the balance sheet. On the other hand, when revised values are not to be recorded, in this case, the new value, when we are finding out after evaluation, the new value is not shown. It is not shown in the new balance sheet. It means new balance sheet is the balance sheet which is prepared after admission, after giving effect to all these things. So in this case, it is not to be shown in the books, and in here when the revised values are to be recorded, it means the new balance sheet will contain the change in the values. So first we will be doing this only. Now change in the value of asset. When the value of asset changes, there may be either increase in the value of asset, increase in value, or there may be decrease in value of asset. Decrease in value of asset. Increase in value is appreciation in the value of asset. And decrease in value, we have already studied, it is depreciation in the value of asset. So when the value of asset increases, appreciated, it is a gain for the business. And if the value of asset is depreciated, reduced, it is a loss for the business. Similarly, let us take some example of increase in the value of asset. Let us assume that we have a furniture. Furniture is an asset, we all know. The old value of furniture is given. Let us assume it is rupees 10,000. And when we are finding out the value, the revalued, that means the value after revaluation is 12,000. That means what? It shows that there is increase in the value. The value of this is increasing. The value of furniture has increased by rupees 2,000. And this is gain for the business. This is gain for the profit for the business. Let us take one more example. Let us take an example of stock. Let us assume that the old value of stock was rupees 8,000, and after revaluation, the value of stock is revalued at rupees, say, 7,000. That means what? The value of stock has decreased by rupees 1,000, and this 1,000 will be a loss for the business. We can take any other asset. Let us take the example of debtors. Let us assume that debtors were rupees, say, 15,000, and let us assume that after revaluation, the value of debtors is only 10,000. That means the value has reduced by rupees 5,000. This is because of bad debt. We may not be receiving payment from some debtors, and it is a loss for the business. So these are the examples how the value of asset changes and whether the change in the value of asset is profit or loss for the business. Now next comes the change in the value of liability. The value of liability also changes. There may be increase in the value of liability, and there may also be decrease in the value of liability. When the value of liability increases, that means what, children? If the value of liability is increasing, meaning the payment which we have to make, payment will increase. The payment will increase. The payment which we have to make in future will increase. On the other hand, if the liability of value is decreasing, the payment which we will have to make in future will decrease. So when the payment is decreasing, this is going to be a profit for the business. And when the payment will increase, it is going to be loss for the business. Let us take some example. Let us assume that the creditors, the old value of creditor is say 7,000 and the new value after revaluation is say rupees 9,000. Here the value of creditor is increasing by rupees 2,000. It has increased. Increased means what? We have to pay more. Earlier we were paying only 7,000. Now we have to pay 9,000. So we are paying 2,000 more. When we are paying 2,000 more, it means it is a loss for the business. Let us take some other example. Let us take the example of say bills payable. Bills payable. Bills payable. Let us assume that the old value of bills payable was rupees 10,000 and after revaluation it has come only to rupees 6,000. It is only rupees 6,000. It shows what? That the value of bills payable has decreased by rupees how much? 4,000. That means what, children? We have to pay less. Earlier we were paying 10,000. Now we have to pay only rupees 6,000. So we are paying less 4,000. It means this is a profit for the business. So whenever the value of liabilities increases, it is a loss for the business, and whenever a value of liability decreases, it is a profit for the business. You can take any other example, children. You will be able to understand on your own. Now, what effect these changes will have on revaluation? We will have to understand. Now, what is revaluation account? We are preparing revaluation account. This account is just prepared to show the effect of change in value of asset and liabilities systematically. Because in accounting, we know, children, everything has to be recorded systematically so that the stakeholders are able to understand, and there is a proper record also of all these things. So that is why we prepare revaluation account. Now before preparing revaluation account, we should understand how to prepare this. Revaluation account is a nominal account, children. This you must understand. It is a nominal account. We have done the classification of accounts in class 11. We are just revising it. Now nominal account, what is the rule of nominal account? The rule says debit all expenses and losses and credit all incomes and gains. Credit all incomes and gains. Now we have only two things, student. We have asset and we have liabilities. Now we should understand कि debit all expenses and losses. So we will have to see that when the value of asset is changing, whether the change in the value of asset or liability results in loss or whether it results in gain or it is an income for the business, and accordingly it has to be recorded. Let us first consider increase in the value of asset. When the value of asset increases, it means what? The value of property is increasing. Just now we have taken one example and we understood. So the value of property is increasing. When the value of property is increasing, it is a gain for the business. So increase in asset will be recorded on the credit side. And when the value of asset is decreasing, means the value of the property is decreasing. It is a loss for the business. So decrease in asset will be recorded on the debit side. On the other hand, let us take example of liability. When the value of liability is increasing, it is a loss for the business because the business will have to pay more in future. So when it is a loss, it has to be entered on the debit side. So increase in liability. And on the other hand, if the value of liability is decreasing, that shows कि we will have to pay less in future. We discussed now with the help of an example. So it is a gain for the business. So decrease in liability. Now one more thing, children. If suppose some assets are unrecorded, it is an error, but it may take place in the business that we had assets but we forgot to record it in the books. Now when we are revaluing, we came to know that there is an asset with us. This asset was not recorded in the books. Now when we bring that asset in the books, it is going to increase the value of property. That means what? Unrecorded asset results in gain for the business. So it will be recorded on the credit side. On the other hand, if there is an unrecorded liability, children, it will result in a loss, because now we will have to pay for this unrecorded liability also. So it becomes a loss for the business. So it will be recorded on the debit side, unrecorded liability. That's all, children. Only these things will come here. Either the value of asset increases or decreases. Either the value of liability increases or decreases. And after this, we will just have to balance the account, and the balance will be transferred to the partner's capital account. When we are balancing, children, we will have to keep this in mind. If debit side means what? The expense and loss side is greater than credit side, means the income side, then this will result to loss on revaluation. Loss on revaluation. On the other hand, if your debit side is less than credit side, that means income side, this results to profit on revaluation. Profit on revaluation. And the profit or loss, the profit on revaluation or the loss on revaluation, it will be transferred to the capital accounts of the partners. If it is a profit, it will be transferred on the credit side of capital account, and if there is a loss, it will be transferred on the debit side of revaluation account. This revaluation account, it is here, the same thing is being written. This is debit side, this is credit side, children. You can see it is a nominal account, increase in asset on the credit side, decrease in liability, increase in assets, because it results in profit for the business. It results in profit, so it is recorded on the credit side. Decrease in liability, because again we will have to pay less, so it is also a profit for the business. Unrecorded asset, because the value of property is increasing, so again it is a profit entered on this side. Then increase in liability means we will have to pay more. Pay more meaning it is a loss for the business, so recorded on the debit side. Decrease in asset, the value of property is decreasing, again loss. Unrecorded liability, again we have to pay more, so it will recorded, it is a loss for the business, so entered on the debit side. And then the balance, either loss or either there will be a loss or profit. Both will not come at the same time. Both cannot come together, children. Remember this. Now there is a question, children, for you. Here is a question. From the following transactions, classify the transaction which will increase the asset, decrease the asset, increase the liability and decrease. That means what? After you have to analyze each and every transaction and find out whether it is resulting in increase in asset, decrease in asset or increase, decrease in liability. Let us take the first transaction. Land and building is appreciated by 10%. Appreciated meaning what? Increase. That means what, children? The first transaction, land and building value is increasing. So it is increase in asset. Clear? Next, stock increased by 10,000. So again, children, stock is also the second transaction. Stock value is increasing. So this is again increase in asset. Next, machinery is depreciated by 5%. So depreciation meaning what? Reduction in the value of asset. So third transaction, children, machine value is decreasing. So it is decrease in asset. Then next, sundry creditors is reduced by 15,000. Creditor is a liability. It is reduced by 15,000. So we will have to, fourth one, creditor value is decreased, so it is decrease in liability. Next, a provision for doubtful debt is created at the rate of 5% on debtors. So we have to create a provision for bad debt. So this is decrease in value of asset. And next is outstanding expenses not payable anymore. So it is decrease in liability, and creditors amounting to 10,000 not likely to be claimed, again decrease in liability. That means what? The next two transaction, outstanding expenses, it is also decrease in liability, and the last one, creditors not likely claimed, it is also decrease in liability. Now you will have to show this in this revaluation account. This is a revaluation account, credit side, debit side. Now let us see how these transactions will appear. Land and building is increased, stock is also increased, machine is reducing. So these two will appear on the, because the value is increasing, so they will appear on the credit side, and machine value is decreasing, so this will appear on the debit side. Creditor value, this is on the debit side. Creditor is decreasing, it is a gain for the business, so it will appear on the credit side. So let us write them. So land and building will appear on the credit side, then machine will also appear on the credit side, children, and then the next one is creditor will also appear on the debit side. Then provision for bad debt, decrease in value of asset, it is a loss because asset value is decreasing. Outstanding expenses, decrease in liability. This is, so these two will appear on the credit side and this will appear on the debit side. So provision for bad debt, and here the outstanding expenses and creditors, and then at the end we will have to do the balancing, and the balance will be transferred to either partner's capital account on the credit side if it's a profit, and if it is a loss it will be transferred to the partner's capital account debit side. See children, here it's a link given of Google form which will help you to practice the revaluation account whatever we have learned today. So the link of this form will be given in the description column of the YouTube link, so you can click there and practice this Google form. Thank you children.